Good morning, y'all. Or good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me, Pandi here of Pandi's Hair Candy and More. Welcome everybody to the weekly recap live. I'm trying to bring you all up so I can see your comments. Thank you, everyone who has joined me on today. I appreciate you being here. Let's see who we got in here so far. Hey, Web Savvy Cafe. Good morning and good afternoon, Miss Full Roller Sarah. Thank you, ladies, for being here with me. I appreciate it. Can you all hear me okay? Can you let me know, please, with a thumbs up? That would be greatly appreciated. Hey, good morning, Green Organic Love. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Is my audio okay, y'all? Okay, Miss Full Roller said she'll be right back. Green Organic Love or Web Savvy, can you all hear me okay? I hope you guys are able to hear me. I am not using a microphone. I'm kind of just sitting in front of my PC trying to start my day off. I got some running around that I need to do, but I enjoy doing these weekly recaps of what my observations have been on the trending topics going on around us. Let me see if I'm missing something here because I don't see if you guys are letting me know whether or not you can hear me. I simply don't see. Oh, there y'all go. Why I couldn't see all y'all's comments before. Thank you, Web Savvy. Thank you, Miss Full Roller. Good afternoon, DJ Vibes. Thank you for being here. Y'all, I'm looking at the comments on my phone and I don't see them. And usually StreamYard is delayed and y'all's comments are right here on StreamYard. So I do apologize, y'all. Hey, Commentary with Latu. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you guys being here. Well, you guys, without further ado, welcome to Pandy's Weekly Recaps. I am so trying to make this a regular scheduled Saturday, mid-morning to mid-afternoon weekly series. I enjoy doing it. I'm doing it anyway. I usually get the Saturday to sit down and relax at home, check out everything that's been going on in the world and on social media, and just kind of take it in, process it, and then give my perspective on it on my channel. And I invite you guys to actually join in the conversation and let's just chop it up and dialogue about it. So I appreciate you guys being here. So this week is no different. Okay. I wanted to just discuss a few things that we have saw going on this week in our society. Hey, Prepping Ain't Easy TV. Good morning / good afternoon and welcome and thank you for being here. I appreciate all of y'all being here. I can't tell y'all enough. I know y'all probably get tired of me saying it, but if I do, I do. Okay? So this week, y'all, I know y'all done seen it just like I done seen it. We had a lot going on, and I'll only touch on a few things on this particular show that I'm doing on this morning. I simply talk about a few topics that were trending in the headlines, give my little brief summarization on it, and see what y'all's thoughts are. So definitely feel free to join in the conversation and share in the comments. If you all didn't remember to do so on your way in, please don't forget to blow dry on that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. It definitely helps with my interaction and my analytics on my channel. As you all know, I am a smaller YouTuber trying to get my footing out here and trying to make my presence known. So don't forget to blow dry on that like button. All right. Now, I got a few topics in particular that I do want to cover on today. Um, the first one briefly being the Kobe Bryant epic homegoing and public memorial service that was televised. I feel like so many people did tributes to Kobe on the YouTube platform. There was no need for me to do one. I pretty much have supported several other YouTubers who put out great tributes to Kobe Bryant. And I honestly have learned so much more about him in his passing than I knew while he was living. And that speaks volumes to the man that he was outside of basketball, the father that he was, and just the human being that he was. Okay. So I hope you all had a chance to take a look at his homegoing celebration and take away something positive from it. I just wanted to touch on that because it now has been announced on, I believe it was Thursday or Friday of this past week. His wife is actually now launching a lawsuit against the company that the helicopter pilot worked for, because apparently, like they were saying initially, the LAPD police helicopters weren't even cleared to fly in that weather. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens there. And thank you all. Thank you, Green Organic Love, for sharing out the live stream. I got the notification here. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. Primping ain't easy. I got a notification on you sharing me out as well. So thank you, ladies, for doing that. And anyone else that I may have missed that shared the screen, I'm sorry, shared the link. Thank you guys so much for doing that. It really helps. I appreciate that. So, like I said, there was a public memorial. Of course, Kobe and his daughter Gianna were buried in a private funeral service, but then they also held that public memorial service, which they held, of course, at the Staples Center, where he once dominated as an LA Laker. There was many celebrities came out to give their final respects to Kobe, his family, and the other victims that were involved, because we do know that there were several other lives that perished in that helicopter crash as well. So just wanted to share on that, see what y'all's thoughts were on. Was a positive thing or a negative thing? What are our thoughts on the fact that Miss Vanessa Bryant, now widowed, is launching this lawsuit? I mean, it's pretty crazy and it's very sad. Such a young, tragic loss for all involved. You know what I mean? It's just sad. It's sad. So that was that on my first topic. And going into my second topic, y'all, this was trending. I don't know if you all are aware, but Miss Jada Pinkett Smith has a Facebook Live watch show called Red Table Talks. And let me just put my disclaimer out. All of these thoughts and opinions and observations expressed during this live stream are mine, okay? They are all alleged, and this is for entertainment purposes only, for the purpose of me giving commentary on my observation, okay? That was my PSA and my public disclaimer. But Miss Jada Pinkett Smith does have her Facebook Live watch show. It's called Red Table Talks. I don't know if you all have ever had the privilege or opportunity to check her show out. It's actually pretty dope. She usually is on there with her mother and her children. Well, y'all know Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is Snoop Dogg is Snoop Dogg. He gonna do what it do. He's pretty controversial, and sometimes his statements land him in a little bit of hot water. Well, recently, this past week, Snoop Dogg was interviewed on the Red Table Talk show. Now, her platform is supposed to be like a safe space for people, and particularly celebrities, to come and share and kind of usually clean up their mess that they make in public. So he came on A lot of people are kind of like giving her a little bit of backlash and giving him backlash because they're saying if it's supposed to be allegedly a safe place for people to come on and share, then at what expense? Is it at their expense? It's just been real interesting, y'all. He came on to address the comments that he made about Gayle King, after she brought up Kobe Bryant's 2003 sexual assault case in an interview that he did with Lisa Leslie. Now, Snoop Dogg called Gayle King a funky dog head BI, and y'all know the rest. And he said that she and Oprah were race traitors, among other things. Now, Snoop Dogg eventually issued a public apology saying that he simply wanted to protect Kobe's now widow, Vanessa Bryant, and her children. Did y'all see that? Did y'all get a chance to check out that interview? Have you all heard the clips? Did y'all even originally peep when Snoop Dogg jumped on Gayle King's neck and went in? It was very interesting to say the least, y'all. I wanted to talk about it. Did y'all get a chance to check that out? And what are your thoughts on it? I mean, do we feel like he was in a state of shock and, Kobe was one of his good homeboys and he just was in his feelings? And so he lashed out because Miss Gayle King kind of spoke out of turn? Or do we feel like Snoop never should have came at Gayle King in such a disrespectful fashion? Please jump down in the comments and let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Did you all get a chance to check that out, see it, hear it? What are y'all's thoughts? This is an interactive chat, y'all. Web Savvy says, "Oh yeah, his mama jacked him." Who Snoop Dogg's? I think I did see something in the headlines about his mom getting on to him about what he said about Gayle King. It's interesting. Green Organic is cracking up. Green, Snoop did not need to go there. He didn't need to go in on Gayle King like that. Come on now. Now, Gayle King didn't really necessarily. I feel like this, y'all. This is my opinion. Allegedly. Keyword of the day now, allegedly. Gayle King does always put a sometimes negative spin on whatever the situation is that's at hand. But to her defense, she's a journalist. That's what they do. Now, I have to agree with you, Latu. It may have been just entirely too soon. You know what I'm saying? The man just lost his life in a tragic, horrible way. Good afternoon, Backyard Gardener. Welcome to the live stream, and thank you so much for being here. Be the difference. Good morning, Joy, or good afternoon. Thank you guys for coming in, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We are just chopping it up, discussing some of the trending headlines from this past week, so feel free to jump in the conversation. You know it, Green Organic. Snoop ain't gonna change from there, nah. At all. So they might as well not even hold their breath on that one. So far for y'all that are just coming in, I've only gotten into a couple of topics and I'm just giving my observations and my opinions on what I have been seeing going on this week. Now, Miss Full Roller says, I can't comment on it, although I did hear about Gayle King and Snoop Dogg comments. I don't know exactly what either of them said, nor do I know the context of their comments. Okay, understood. I only saw clips of it as well, Miss Full Roller. That's why I'm bringing it here for us to dissect and talk about and just basically see what our opinions on. I like to just talk about the trending topics of the previous week. And so far, this week, the things that I was choosing to talk about this morning, of course, was asking if everyone got a chance to see the public memorial service that was held for Kobe Bryant and his daughter. What were your thoughts on it? I thought it was beautiful how all of the different people were able to come outside of the family and just gather and show their final respects for the man that he was, the basketball player, the husband, the father. And I love the fact that everyone that spoke incorporated the fact that not only was it his life lost and his daughter's life lost, but there were several other people who lost family members on that day. So I thought it was a beautiful outpouring of public support. And I just wanted to see what you all's thoughts were on it. See if you got a chance to check it out. And then that brought me into my next subject, which we're currently talking about, and that is the Gayle King and Snoop Dogg drama that had been going on, and the fact that this past week Snoop Dogg went on to Miss Jada Pinkett Smith's Facebook Live reality watch show called Red Table Talk. A lot of people feel like Snoop was inappropriate in calling Miss Gayle King allegedly a funky dog head B and saying that she had no right to bring up his 2003 um, rape case or alleged sexual assault case, especially at a time like this when his wife is mourning his passing. And then he went on to attack Miss Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey. It was crazy. Now, he has since gone on and made a public apology and tried to explain, and this also occurred during the Red Table Talk interview. He has since gone on to try to explain that, he was in his feelings. He just lost his homeboy, and he didn't think that it was the time for her to be, looking back. If you're going to look back and shout out the positive rather than the negative, you know. So he went in, Snoop being Snoop, he went in. And I just wanted to see if you all had an opportunity to see that and, what your thoughts were. Crimpin' Ain't Easy said, what did he say? He didn't necessarily say anything negative to Jada in particularly, Crimpin. What happened was is he went on to her platform, which people are saying is supposed to be like a safe place for people to come on and share. But like a lot of people are asking at what expense, because usually most of the people, I think when T.I. went on to the show to interview with her, he got negative backlash. Snoop is now also allegedly facing some negative backlash from his appearance there. And basically what he did was he came on um, Jada Pinkett Smith's show to address the comments that he made about Gayle King after she brought up the 2003 sexual assault case, allegedly, during an old interview with Lisa Leslie. Okay. Now, Snoop called Gayle King a funky dog head B and said that she and Oprah were race traitors, among other things. He eventually then issued a public apology, and simply said, look, this is my homeboy. We just lost him. He was in his feelings, basically, and he didn't feel like she had a right, even though she's a journalist, he didn't feel like she had a right to basically disrespect his legacy and disrespect his wife and their children by showcasing something so negative when there's so much more positive out there about his life that she could have chose to speak on so recently after his passing. So on the flip side, I kind of see where Snoop was coming from, although I don't think he should have went in on her like that. But it is what it is. This is Snoop. And then Gayle King, I also see her point. She was covering the whole story, but I don't think it was necessary to highlight that particular portion of his past. Mm-hmm. Yes, commentary with the two. Jada Pinkett Smith's show is a weekly Facebook Live show. She doesn't do it on YouTube. Her platform is strictly on Facebook Live. It is called Red Table Talk. And she usually co-hosts with her mother and her children. So when Snoop appeared this week, the children were there as well as her mother. And, Snoop was very emotional and very sincere in saying he apologized to Gayle King, but he was in his feelings. He didn't feel like she had a right to be coming at him and bringing up that past information, being that it was showing him in a negative light. That was when Kobe was young, he was new, he was fresh out on the scene. And allegedly, When these NBA players come out on the scene, there allegedly is all these groupies out there waiting to throw themselves at them and create these false narratives about them. And the first one that we always oftentimes see, Greedo, is they scream rape. They scream rape. They scream sexual assault. I'm going to tell you, as a mother of two adult sons, I'd be nervous as you know what, because I'm like, listen, no me, no. Okay, my oldest son is 28 and my youngest son is 23. I don't want them to get caught up with no woman screaming no rape charges on them. You feel me? And I've been blessed and fortunate that that has never, ever happened. But I get where both parties were coming from. You know what I mean? I get it. That Kobe and Snoop was real tight. So I can understand him being in his feelings and attacking her because Snoop gonna be Snoop. He's a gangster rapper for God's sake. He's hood. He gonna say it as he feel it, and it might not come out right. Gail King is very bougie, allegedly, very professional, and she's a journalist. That is her profession. So she's going to speak on it in a whole. Now, we could beg to differ whether or not she was making them as a professional choice or whether or not she was being, low key messy. I don't want to believe that about her, but who knows? No one really knows, but it was done, it was said. And not only did she receive backlash from Snoop Dogg, many people came out and issued backlash towards Gayle King for her remarks on bringing up that previous sexual assault charge that Kobe Bryant was involved with back in 2003. Many people. Snoop was the only one to just go there with her. And let me just do this for green organically. He called her, and I quote, a funky dog head bee and accused her of being a race traitor along with Oprah. Those are Snoop Dogg's words, not Pandy's, okay? And yeah, she brought that out, and Snoop wasn't here for it. He was not here for it at all, honey. Now, Ms. Full Roller says, now, was Gil making these comments as an individual, or did she make these comments while on assignment for the network she works for? She was being interviewed. She was being interviewed, and it wasn't necessarily in the capacity of her job, but it was like another reporter asking her, and she shared those statements, and it did not go over well. It did not go over well, and a lot of people spoke out about it, but Snoop went in. Snoop went in like Snoop goes in. Web Savvy Cafe Snoop was too. You say they was both on assignment, but she asked his friend. I'm not sure, Primpin. Primpin said that was not an assignment. Now, Backyard Gardener says Jada act as if she was so surprised and taken back by what Snoop said. True. That's the part that I didn't like. This man always talked down about women and calls names in his music. So why so shocked? Facts, Backyard Gardener. That's what I'm saying. Okay, Snoop gives what Snoop gives. No need in us acting like now. Are we saying it's right? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But we already know what Snoop gives. Snoop is going to be Snoop. This is what he has made his empire on. Okay, Snoop D-O double G. So he is going to come through with the reckless mouth. We know this about him. Now, there was a way that one could have tried to get him together in a positive way. And, he probably would have cussed you out, but oh well. You wouldn't have received the backlash. But nevertheless, he was invited on Jada Pinkett's Facebook show, The Red Table Talks. And it was an opportunity for him to kind of clean up the mess. You know, do y'all just want to hear me keep saying what the comment was? Because I sound crazy saying I'm telling you, y'all, if you Google it, you will be like, oh my goodness. There are several clips on YouTube of where Snoop went in on Gayle King. Honey, he looked like he had smoked him one or two that day, and he went in. But this is no surprise. This is Snoop Dogg. This is what he gives all day, every day. That's the dog pound in him. And prepping just for you. He called Gayle King a funky dog head beat. A funky dog head beat. I'm just like, ooh, yeah. It was deep. It was deep, but that's Snoop Dogg for you. I mean, hey, it is what it is. So basically, he went on the show to try to clear up the mess and the confusion. He did apologize. He said that it, wait a minute. Backyard Gardener said he ain't going to call Martha Stewart a funky dog head because they ain't going to come get him. Facts. Now that is a valid point that you make there, Backyard Gardener, because I don't know if you all had an opportunity to see. I forget the name of that show, but me and my husband looked at a couple of episodes because we just couldn't believe that Snoop Dogg was on this show co-hosting with Martha Stewart of all people. They would bring different guests on. They would be cooking food. Snoop would be looking high as you know what in every episode, and we were trying to figure out how does collab come about? Allegedly, he was looking that way, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, let me see what Miss Full Roller said. Bad behavior in the community, whether it's celebrities or not. Facts, Miss Full Roller. I agree. Hey, Caviar and Bianca. Welcome to the live stream. Thank y'all for being here. Commentary with the two says, someone I know always saying, not all skin folk are kinfolk. Facts. You better know it. You better know it. Now, Miss Fool Roller, let me go back up, says, in that case, Gail was wrong and should have learned from her comments on the Central Park 5 case while on assignment. But Snoop was wrong for the reason I said above. We need to stop excusing. Web Savvy Cafe says, backyard, good point. I don't know why I thought him playing goody two shoes with the prisoner, Martha Stewart, was changing the way he talked. Okay, so y'all are hip. Y'all know about that show. I ain't seen it back on TV either. But yeah, it was definitely very interesting. And that was trending all over social media. It kind of was on the news, but not as much. But I followed it on social media because, like I said, Jada Pinkett Smith show is not on YouTube. People do bring clips and review it on YouTube, but the show itself is featured on Facebook Live. And Snoop went over there. He was all clean cut in his suit, allegedly, because y'all know I'm giving you my opinion and my perspective on what went down this week. And he went over there to basically apologize for coming at Gayle King. He said, he had some time to think about his comments and he realized it was not right. And he just wanted to apologize and say at the time he was in his feelings and he was acting out in his feelings. He wanted, he felt like he was protecting Miss Vanessa Bryant and her children, and he didn't feel like Miss Gayle King had the right to be speaking on him so soon after his perishing and then in such a negative light. Good morning, the 48. I keep saying morning, y'all, because I'm at home chilling, but it's afternoon. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. And I saw someone else come in. Let me welcome you, Jeremy Loville Ark Vlogs. Welcome to the live stream. Everyone is well today. We are just talking and catching up and recapping over this week's current trending topics and just discussing what all went on. Backyard Gardener says, how many Black people was on that plane with Kobe Bryant other than his daughter? Now that I don't know. I don't know if I've heard any details on that, Backyard Gardener. I don't know the details on that one. I thought it was pretty interesting though, it wasn't shocking that Snoop came out with them comments because like I said, that's Snoop Dogg. He gonna be Snoop Dogg. Hey, Scratching Queen, good afternoon. Welcome to the live stream and thank you for joining. He gonna do what it do. But the fact that he made the appearance on Jada Pinkett Smith's show and, went to try to clean it up, allegedly. Hey, I don't know how to pronounce that. Hi, Root Bayan. Welcome to the live stream. Um, Backyard gardener. She said that ain't the dog pound, that's that pound of weed in him. Allegedly, y'all, allegedly. It was interesting to see. Most people are not shocked by his initial comments towards Gayle King. And then most people are not shocked at what Gayle King did. Eh, you know, it is what it is. They have these images out here. So unfortunately, it blew up into this whole big thing. And it initially landed him his spot in the interviewing chair at the Red Table for Red Table Talks with Jada Pinkett Smith and her family. At which point in time he did apologize for the statements that he made. And, it was an opportunity for him to at least try to get it right. Now, I haven't heard any response back from Gayle King with regards to his initial statements toward her or the apology. So I will definitely look into that a little bit further to see. Javier and Bianca, yeah, that was kind of messed up for her to say. Even as a host, I would have never let word come out of my mouth saying anything about him, knowing we just lost a family man and his child. Yeah. And I don't even think that anybody really had an issue with her speaking on him. It was just the fact that she spoke on something so negative. First of all, I can't remember the details of that initial case because it was back in 2003. We're in 2020. But what I can say is in 2003, when Kobe was just getting out here, we was just getting to learn him. Hey, Jennifer Miller, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here. He was young, and you know how it is. And I'm not at all condoning this or saying that it's right. But in the NBA, there's groupies. Okay, you have young ladies out there that are strictly trying to catch them, land them an NBA ball player. Now, I also know that there are ball players that are, entitled and tend to sometimes act out. Web Savvy said Snoop's mama made him go on that show and apologize. Probably Web Savvy. I wouldn't be surprised because most mamas would be like, if you don't get your out there and clean this mess up, boy. So I wouldn't be surprised. And Snoop comes from a family of church people. So I would not be surprised. But what the point I was making is a lot of ball players get out and they take advantage of the fact that, there's women out there. And there have been some true incidents where women have been sexually assaulted and or raped by these ball players. And then it's like this whole drawn out case. It's he said, she said, and it's difficult for those women that it truly happens to prove their case because of the level of entitlement and prestige that comes along with being an NBA ball player, allegedly, and in my opinion, that's just my take on it. But regardless of all of that, I think what Snoop Dogg's point is the man just lost his life with his daughter, as well as all these other people that perished in this accident. Why, with all of the positive things that he has going on out here, the whole Mamba mentality movement, the whole fact that the boy was an amazing basketball player. A lot of children look up to him. Good afternoon, East Dad. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Hi, Royal PK family. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. The fact that he had been doing so much, there was the book series that he was doing. Kobe Bryant was so much more than just a basketball player. And I feel like Snoop was in his feelings because that was one of his good homeboys, allegedly. And he was like, Gayle King, no, ma'am. And so he lashed out. And he said what he said. And it just went and it went viral, of course, because these people are celebrities. They're celebrities. And so it's going to be taken way far out there. It's going to be, blown out of context. And people like us, we're going to see it and we're going to have our opinions and our perspectives. So that was my observation on one of the major trending topics that I saw going on this week. Wanted to see if you all had an opportunity to check it out and what y'all's thoughts were on it, because it was pretty interesting. It was definitely interesting. Okay. Yeah. Um, so far we talked about the homegoing celebration on Kobe this week. That was trending. We talked about Snoop Dogg's appearance on Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talks Facebook show. Oh yes, Caviar and Bianca. I talked about that last week. Lil Boosie and his little outburst that he had at the Planet Fitness. He definitely has a lot to say. He was actually no, that was in regards to Dwayne Wade's son wanting to transition. So I'm mixing the stories up. My bad. Um, and let me see. I got a couple more topics that I'm gonna just briefly talk about. The one was oh, the one other topic that I wanted to find out about, if y'all had an opportunity to look at or hear about, and what y'all's thoughts are, is this week Harvey Weinstein, the movie mogul. He was also convicted on rape and sexual charges this week. Now, many thought that this day would never come because for decades he's been accused by several women. Hey, the life of Riri. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you stopping by. Girl, can I just say that your poetry spoken word was lit the other night? I'm gonna have to go subscribe to that one's channel. What was that thing called? Straight to the point. Had me clutching my invisible pearls, girl. But recapping on this week's trending topics, okay? So far, we have talked about Snoop Dogg's appearance on the Jada Pinkett Smith Red Table Talk show, and Kobe's homegoing celebration. And now I'm just talking about Harvey Weinstein, wanting to know what y'all's thoughts were, if you even have any thoughts. Did we ever even think? I will say that I didn't really think. I'm a little shocked and surprised that there was actually a sentencing with regards to Harvey Weinstein. Because like I said, this week, he was actually convicted and sentenced on the rape charges and sexual assault charges, and many people thought that the day would never come because for decades women, actresses, different people that were, worked around him and were involved with his day to day business had accused him of several things, several crimes, sexual harassment, sexual assault, rape, several things, but he's never faced any consequences. And the fact that he was this big, famous movie mogul, some say allegedly that with money you can buy anything, and some say they felt that's why he never faced those consequences. But this past week, the mogul was actually arrested, or not arrested, but sentenced and convicted on those charges. So what are y'all's thoughts? Did you guys get a chance to see it? What were your feelings on it? I personally was watching the case rather closely because I looked at the way Bill Cosby was treated with regards to these same type of allegations. And, you know, they are of similar stature that I just wanted to see how the court of public opinion was going to play out. Um, Not necessarily based on color, but just based on the fact that here we have these two men, these two Hollywood huge names. You have several years of accusations and allegations being made against these two men. How is this going to play out? In my opinion, Bill Cosby was drugged. He was drugged. Okay, they went in. They didn't play no games with him. And he's older. They're both older, not in good health. Um, it was just crazy. When I saw Harvey Weinstein coming into court, now we saw Bill Cosby coming in. He had to be led in. He had begun to lose his sight. He was old and just barely making it. He's no longer in his prime. And I often wondered, like, why do people wait all these years to just now really come forth and go full steam ahead and trying to get these now old men convicted? Like, they can barely even make it. I really felt bad for Bill Cosby's wife because, you know, she'd been there all these years, um, faithfully standing by his side, and then to just hear all these allegations made against him, knowing that these were during your years of marriage to this man, it was just sad. I felt really bad for her. And then Harvey Weinstein, I'm like, oh, he can't even stand up straight. He's all bent over, hunched over that walker and walking, you know, all I'm just like, oh my, you know, and I'm just like, wow, it finally caught up to them, whatever it is, allegedly. It definitely finally caught up to them. And I thought it was interesting. And I'm not going to lie, I was shocked to see a conviction so fast because it almost felt like to me his story was being swept under the rug. It didn't nearly get as much publicity as Bill Cosby's case. I mean, I had to search for what was going on with the case. So that was interesting to see this week. Web Savvy Cafe said that's what fans do. You better not say anything about Queen Bee either. Mm. Like a reread. Thanks, Pandi. You're welcome. I was there enjoying. You had some really good poets. There was a lady on there too. I can't remember her name, but I think she's one of your moderators. She came through with that heat. So it was nice. And you all definitely, if you're not connected with one another in the live stream, definitely check out each other's channel. This is what we do. We cross support one another. Definitely check out each other's channel. Simply highlight the person above or beneath you that you may not be connected with by shouting them out with one or two emojis and get over to their platform. Check out a short video, leave a genuine comment, and cross support. This is how we grow. This is how we grow. Miss Full Roller said, no, I didn't see the trial, and I'm actually surprised, but the real thing to look for is will he truly be punished, i.e., being able to go in and out of your jail cell, etc., is not real punishment. Yeah, you have a point there because they make it seem like, yeah, Bill Cosby allegedly is not doing too well up in there, um, you know, health wise. So we'll have to keep our eye open for that just to check. Jennifer Miller said he bought that Walker brand new. Javier and Bianca said because they know these older men are now set. You got a point there. I just thought, isn't that strange that these men, I mean, these crimes happened like 20 years ago. Hey, absolutely, Raven. Thank you for being here. And welcome to the live stream. We're just chopping it up over this week's past trending topics. So far, we have talked about Kobe Bryant and his public memorial. That was very touching. It was very touching. I thought it was a beautiful tribute, how all of the people came out and, you know, just paid their final respects to him and shared. that, he was so much more than just a basketball player. And I love the fact that they acknowledged that not only was um, him and his daughter's life lost, but there were other people on that helicopter. And I love that they actually brought that awareness as well. We also have been discussing Snoop Dogg and his now infamous attack and comments toward Miss Gail King that landed him in serious hot water. Hey, 50 plus, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here. If you guys didn't remember to do so, please don't forget to blow dry on that like button for your girl. It greatly helps me with my YouTube analytics. I love the interaction. Y'all know I love to come on here and just run my mouth with y'all. And this is what I do. So this is now a new weekly series that I've added to the Pandy's Hair Candy and More lineup. Each Saturday, early morning, early afternoonish, I come on and just give my perspective of the weekly trending topics and what I've been seeing and hearing, give my observation and my perspective. And it's an interactive chat where you all can definitely jump on in and give your dialogue and we can chop it up. So this is what we doing. So far we've talked about Kobe, we've talked about Snoop Dogg. I ain't gonna repeat what Snoop Dogg said because that was crazy. And we were just talking about Harvey Weinstein actually being convicted and sentenced. And like Miss Full Roller says, it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out, to see if there's actually any delay with his incarceration and that sort of thing. And lastly, my last point that I wanted to bring up in this week's trending topics, y'all, was the coronavirus. The coronavirus updates, basically. I want you guys to really be aware that this thing is shifting, it's growing, and because there is so much unknown about it, we have to keep our eyes on it until this thing is really nipped in the bud. Um, Recently this week, the CDC has announced that it is now aware of 4 new cases in the US. Okay, and they're basically just trying to continue to spread the word that, this thing is taking off. And the scary part is, as these new cases arise, I forget the man's name, but he was speaking on behalf of the CDC, which is the Centers for Disease Control. That's who regulates diseases and outbreaks and plagues and things here in the US. They were saying that the scary part about this whole situation is that when these new cases arise, we don't realize and recognize how many people that person has been in contact with. They could have gone to work, they could have gone to school, they probably went to the grocery store, they could have dropped off their dry cleaning. It's just when you look at what a person does on a regular day, several people could have came into contact with that individual. And then there's so little that is being made known to us, the general public. When I say us, I'm referring to us, the general public, about how exactly this disease is spreading. How is it contracted? What is the cross-contamination? Information Man on YouTube, he actually has done a really good job with actually bringing about information on this epidemic. If you all are not connected with him, definitely check out some of his videos. I know Commentary with Latu, one of the moderators here in the chat, has also done an amazing video, delving in and just showcasing exactly what's going on with that virus and how it is being spread, and where it's pretty much stemming from, and ways that we can kind of try to prevent contracting it and kind of try to keep ourselves safe. So that has been my final topic on this week's trending topics, just making sure that you all are educating yourself on this matter, keeping your eye on it. As content creators, most of us in the chat, we are content creators. You may have a specific set of criteria for what your channel is about. I'll use myself for an example here. I, for the most part, am a hair channel. I talk about hair, I talk about wigs, natural hair products, and things of that sort. However, we can use our platforms to bring about awareness. And I think that it's imperative, that we do that. Um, and I have to agree with you, Backyard Gardener, as well as Jennifer Miller and a lot of others in the chat. I have been seeing different reports on that as well about it being a man-made virus. In fact, there was a scientist that was actually initially one of the first people that was coming out and speaking on the virus before it really got out, and that man dropped dead. So definitely stay woke, okay? And do your homework and your research on this matter and watch it, because a lot of people are allegedly implying that this is a man-made virus, and that it stems from biochemical warfare, allegedly, that they are messing around with over there. And, it's kind of being presented to us as this medical thing, or something that people are contracting based on the different delicacies they eat. Because initially, when I first started researching it, I was getting the impression that it was something that people were contracting from eating, like bat soup, which I never even knew was a thing. But yes, there were videos over there with people eating soup with a little dang on bat in the bowl, like a bat, like from the Dracula movies. Yes, a bat. And they were saying that the bat soup and the reptile soup and all these things was causing the people to get sick. Now, on face surface, initially when I was reading, I was like, oh, okay, well, of course they're going to get sick and contract something sick. I mean, look what you're eating. But, but now, there are more people coming out and just highlighting the fact that this is actually deeper than that. And allegedly, there's insinuations that biochemical warfare is involved, that there may be something more malicious behind it. So definitely, y'all, do your share of spreading awareness, um, keeping updated, and making sure that you share with your supporters, because like I said, for the most part, most of us in here, we're content creators. We have channels, we have a platform, we have a following of people that tune into us to support us. We owe it to them to keep them aware. You never know. Some people, not everybody watches the news. Not everybody follows up on these things. So it's the least that we can do to do our part about keeping the awareness out there, making sure people know. I mean, for people like myself, good afternoon, Jill's Comfort Zone. Welcome to the live stream. Like, I work in the medical field, so I'm in constant contact, like person to person contact with people. And not only just people, but people that are ill or that are not feeling well. And I mean, I can't just violate HIPAA and go into their medical records to see what they're truly there for. I mean, I could lose my job, I could lose my licenses. So I have to be mindful in protecting myself and making sure, proper hand washing measures and things of that nature is being taken. But we also need to know, is this truly a health epidemic, or is this a biochemical warfare situation that has gotten out of hand? And whatever the case may be, allegedly, we need to be aware of it. We need to stay on top of knowing what's going on, follow this story, and, consider sharing information about it on your platforms, even if it's just a little, 20-second blurb, just updating people. I like to do it every time that I come on my platform, because initially it was only 14 cases here in the US. And the first case being right where I'm from, in my hometown, where I have ties to, and I still have family there. So I was immediately affected by that and impacted, because I'm like, oh my God, well, how many people did this person come into contact with? Where has this person been? And is there even a cure, and how dangerous is it? You know, what are the symptoms? From so far, what I've heard, the symptoms kind of start off like a common cold, and then it kind of progresses and it looks almost like the flu. So you just want to be mindful and making sure that you are aware of what this thing is and how to protect yourself. Okay, and sharing and spreading the word on that. That was basically it, y'all, for my trending topics this week. I am so happy that you all joined me on this morning. If you didn't do so on your way in, please don't forget to blow dry on that like button. I greatly appreciate it. And if anybody have any comments or questions for me, now would be a good time to go ahead and drop them into the chat. I'm going to hang out for a few more minutes just to try to answer any questions and kind of look at everybody's comments to see who I may have missed. Jill's Comfort Zone, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you jumping in. Commentary with you says China and West needs to stop playing around. It will start affecting innocent nations. I agree. Web Savvy Cafe say I saw that at Jennifer Lysol Marketing. Oh, for real? Jennifer Miller said, look at the back of your Lysol can. The virus is on it. So this is not a new thing. Wow. Well, why are we just now hearing about it in such a traumatic? I mean, they make it sound like this is something that just like got loose out the factory. I'm gonna have to look because I sure got some Lysol in this kitchen. I'm about to have to look at that. You see the things you learn and just interacting on. In commentary, what Luchu said, the part that's very sneaky is that it's non-symptomatic until you only have a few days to live. Yes, that's the thing that is very scary, commentary. You would think, that it may be just a common cold or, that you're just coming down with some little mild virus and then it progresses so rapidly and then people are like almost terminally ill. That is crazy. Not new, but the strain is new. Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. The life of Riri said the virus was here a long time ago. We just didn't pay it no attention. Okay. Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Backyard Gardener says, yes, Riri, this is how they do it. Riri said, I said they trying to die off the populations in certain areas. Life of Riri, I hate to believe that, but it just, that's how it's looking. That is how it's looking. Mm-mm-mm. Javier and Bianca said, I saw this morning that one of the soccer players has it now and from overseas. What? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to look at that. Life of Riri said, because as they say, if they put something that require reading, we won't read it. Ain't that the truth? And they anticipate that. People anticipate the fact that they ain't gonna read it, and I'm not saying they to group any one person or people in a particular group. That's all people. Most people don't read the ingredients, they don't read the effects, they don't watch the news, they don't try to keep themselves up on these current trending topics. Honey, if it is pressing to me, and if I believe that it affects everyone in the community, it globally, like something like this, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it, and I want to talk about it with people. I want to get your opinions and make sure that you know that it's out there and make sure that you are taking steps and measures to protect yourself and your family, your loved ones. Mm-mm-mm. Ain't that the truth, commentary? That's what they say. Hide it in a book. You'll never find out if you hide it in a book. Web Sammy Cafe said Japan has closed school for a month, and they don't play with education. Facts. Oh my God, Web Savvy Cafe. When I was getting ready for work yesterday morning, I was listening to the news as I do every morning. And I heard that and I was like, okay, this is something serious because, first of all, them people don't play about education. For them to close the whole school system in their region, in their entire region for 1 month because they're trying to get this thing under wraps, that speaks volumes. volumes. Thank you, Backyard Gardener. You enjoy your day as well. And I appreciate you each and every time that you can come over and spend a little bit of time with me. You know I do. So thank you. And you have a wonderful day as well. Thank you for coming. See, Xtina Grubbs, welcome to the live stream. I don't think I greeted you when you came in. So thank you so much for being here. Yes, Jennifer Miller said, buy your Lysol. Definitely, y'all. I got the Lysol, I got the mask, I got everything because this is new for me living in a area prone to hurricanes and tornadoes because I come from the Pacific Northwest where we don't get that. So I got a whole kit, honey, that I can just throw in my trunk and hit the road in case I need to. And yes, I don't know. I'm not trying to scare nobody, but honey, I just want to be aware and know what's going on around me. Yes, they did close the school for an entire month or two. Lysol is used to kill off viruses. It's like, a topical spray in an aerosol can, or you can get it in a liquid form, but it kills off certain viruses and bacteria. It's a sanitization spray. The Life of Riri says, but look how they are treating their own people in China by burning them, dragging them out of their homes. I saw that too, Riri. I was like, what is going on? It is something terrible over there right now. It is really something terrible. And like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I had my dad and his family, they had gone over to the Philippines, which is not directly in China, but it's in the same region pretty much. But they were over there for a couple of months, just building on some property and investments they got going on over there. And when they came back through California and then they ended up heading back to Washington. Well, the fact that they were over there for 2 months, they had to go through quarantine and all that when they came back into the US. So, this thing has really, really affected me directly, because of my family being in the regions where the first outbreak was, nationally verified, which was Seattle, Washington. You know, yes, you're welcome, commentary. The Life of Riri says, make sure washing your hands, don't bring the shoes you wear outside into your home, educate your children on proper germ prevention, young and old. I'm telling you, these are facts. So true. So true. When I come home, I feel so gross. Not gross, but like I hurry up and get out of my scrubs because I work in a hospital. I work in a hospital, so I'm around sick people every day. Like I won't come into my house and sit down on my sofa or, with my scrubs on. I immediately get out of that stuff and get showered up and put that stuff in the wash. That's why my light bill and my water bill be high because I wash my clothes every day. When my kids were younger, I used to wash once a week. But I wash every day just based on the fact that I'm in an environment that germs, bacteria, and all of that is, constantly being recycled, in my opinion. So that's what I do. Yes, a disinfectant. I was trying to think of the words to say when I was responding. So thank you, Jennifer Miller, for explaining that to commentary. It is sad. It is really sad. But y'all, I am not going to keep you all. I thank you all so very much for joining me on today. I thank you guys for participating in this conversation. It has been a blessing. It has been fun. I am Pandi of Pandi's Hair Candy and More. This is going to be a weekly series that I'm going to try to stay doing and stay consistent on because it does allow me an opportunity to come on and talk to Pandi's Peeps and just chop it up with you all, share what's trending out there in the world around us, what's trending on social media, what's trending in the news. I love it because it's interactive. It's not just me running my mouth, but I'm actually talking on topics that affect us all on a day to day basis. And you all are wonderful and amazing because you guys also jump into the conversation and contribute, and we dialogue and we bounce ideas off of one another. We brainstorm, we share information, and I love it. Oh, I know y'all probably get tired of me saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But honey, it's a thank you. Okay. I appreciate it. Um, so definitely keep that in mind, y'all. On top of my regular content, of course, I'm gonna keep it lit with the wig reviews. I'm gonna keep it lit with my TV show reviews. I've even got some amazing panelists that I'm going to be bringing on through the StreamYard and interviewing to share some wonderful information. That's why the channel is called Pandy's Hair Candy and more. Guys, I'm so much more than just the hair, and I want to share it. So I thank you guys for your support, but definitely be looking forward to this weekly recap each and every Saturday, early morning to early afternoonish. I always usually post a reminder on my community tab, so if we are connected, you should see the reminder. And also on Sundays, I do have the game nights. I love doing game nights. It's always a fun, entertaining time. But I want to thank you guys so much. And if you have the opportunity to jump into this conversation and give input, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Somebody may come along on the replay and watch and get so much valuable information because it wasn't just me talking, it was you all talking as well. So I thank you guys for being here. We've been on for over an hour, y'all, and I ain't really the one to go on for hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring this to a close. And y'all be blessed. Have an amazing Saturday, and I will talk to you later. All right. Bye, everyone. Have an amazing Saturday.